Swing at the World family, what is up, y'all? Face and the Knuckleheads are back with you one more time. Getting ready to break down the craziest subjects of the week. As usual, we got a special guest with us today. This guy happens to be Streetbeefs royalty. He's fought with us forever. They call him Grisby, and he called himself Grisby too, by the way. Grisby, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So Grisby, you've been fighting with Streetbeefs, man. It seemed like forever. I feel like you was a part of Streetbeefs back in the old days, like when we was in different places. How long?
2019, the end of 2019.
2019. So first I'll ask you, what made you want to come fight in a backyard with Streetbeefs?
I seen how you guys run it. You guys look like you guys have fun and all that. I mean, you guys do have fun, but just the looks of the way you guys ran it on YouTube and stuff. I mean, I was watching when you guys used to use the flip phones, like way back in the day. You guys were pulling cars up.
Yeah.
I was watching that, and I was like, man, I'm trying to go out there, but you guys were solving beefs, and I was like, who's gonna come out there
and solve a beef?
Yeah.
Right. So you from Virginia, right?
Nah. I live in Frederick, Maryland. I was born in Atlantic City.
DMV, baby. Y'all know what it is. How did you get into martial arts or boxing or whatever you want to call it?
You know, watching it as a kid, when I was growing up, like elementary school years, HBO and Showtime boxing was big. You know, like my family would come into town. We watched the fights on TV, so that's when I started watching it. And then playing sports, lifting weights, just found a heavy bag and started doing it.
What sports did you play when you was young?
T-ball when I was a kid, and then I played football in middle school and high school.
My man, what position?
Running back, middle linebacker, and corner.
My man. What is your goal with this? You know, you come to Streetbeefs, you've done good. You fought some big names, and you know, you fought somebody really fucking good. I think your last fight, man, it gave him help. What's his name?
Y'all was a title fight.
Yeah, that was a good fight, yo.
Yeah, it was my first.
Like there was a point where I had you winning. You know, I think maybe you gassed out a little bit there toward the end.
Yeah, that's no problem. Cardio.
Yeah. So, what's your goal though? Like, you doing something else, or you just want to fight here?
I mean, I started a YouTube channel, so I'm working on like making workout videos. I want to help people get in shape and then become a drug addiction counselor and help people with those type of problems. Just do stuff like that.
A noble goal. Now,
A lot of work.
Yeah, it really is. You know, if you're out there, get ready. We're going to post his links to his YouTube channel and everything, and make sure you go get him, man, a follow. Grisby, as always, we love having you in the yard, bro. Great working with you today in the gym. You always bring it. I don't know if y'all seen this, youngins. How many of y'all are Chief Keef fans?
Nah.
Who doesn't like Chief Keef?
Chief Keef.
Love Sosa.
So, there's a picture going around, and there's people saying, Chief Keef's getting old. Can you believe it? Well, no shit. You don't think people age? Is he a vampire?
Why do people think celebrities and rappers and people with just a little bit of money are like immune to it?
It's crazy. I don't know. There's this myth that goes around. They think, you know, if you're a celebrity, you're going to have so much money that you're going to have access to plastic surgery and the best medicine and the best money. Let me tell y'all something, okay? If you don't take care of yourself and work out and eat right, don't matter how much money you got. And guess what? You can work out and eat right when you're poor. You know, now the eating right part is a little more difficult, but you can do it, you know. So my point is, with Chief Keef, why are we shocked? You know, yes, he made some money, but he's a human being and he put on some weight. Did any of y'all see the picture?
I didn't see the picture.
You seen it?
Yeah, I've seen him getting big for a while now.
Yeah, he
lean good.
Hey, he gonna go from Chief Keef to Chief Keef. You know, do y'all feel Chief Keef is the inventor of drill rap? Is he the godfather of it? If not, who is?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
That's a good question. Hey,
He was one of the first to do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm gonna say this. I didn't know what the fuck drill rap was, okay?
Until he came around.
I think Slim Jesus
Man.
Don't do that.
Let's not forget about him. He a legend, man. He
He a legend, all right, you know. Look, I'll say this. For me, I did not even think Chicago. Well, let me tell y'all this. The rap scene, okay, for the longest, it was New York, and it was LA, and it was down south. For whatever reason, as big as Chicago is, it never had a real big rap scene. You had like Twister from out there, which I fuck with Twister, but let's face it, Twister's not A1. You had Kanye, but when you think about rap, or when you think about Kanye, you don't automatically think Chicago. You just think Kanye's a rapper, right? So then I see Chief Keef hit. And I seen him blow up, and they was like, this dude from Chicago, he's a drill rapper, and he looked like Chicago. Whatever that means. He looked like Chicago. And then you seen Dirk and all these other dudes come out. So, okay, who wears the Chicago crown for rap? Who's the best Chi-Town rapper ever?
We're not talking Kanye, and we talking representing Chicago, definitely Chief Keef.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, look, accomplishment-wise, we all know Kanye's accomplished more than any of them. But again, I don't feel like he embodies Chicago.
Chief Keef, he influenced all of it.
Right.
All the sites.
Yeah.
That's right.
What about King Von? You know,
King Von, yeah.
He's
King
new age.
Von. And he legendary too, you know.
He got his stuff from Chief Keef, low key.
Well,
yeah, he created the sound, but I mean, that doesn't mean somebody else can't do it better.
that's right.
I still feel like Chief Keef did.
Look,
that.
when Mickey D's came out with a burger, Burger King might have took it and made it better. Well, some people don't like Burger King, but you know what I mean.
They selling horse ankles.
Hey,
Those
damn.
nuggets, man.
You took it fucked
Ten
up,
nuggets for
bro.
$1. Something ain't right, man.
You said horse ankles.
Something ain't right.
Hey, but look, you know, Dirk, I don't know if how many of y'all know that Dirk's daddy was a big time real gangster. I don't know if y'all know that story. His daddy was one of the top dogs in, I believe, the GDs or the VDs. Hell, I don't know. So Dirk came from it. He'd been out there, but they say King Von was the fucking Grim Reaper out there. You know, don't know how much of it's true, but usually where there's smoke, there's fire. You guys have you guys seen the stories about King Von killing
A
people?
lot of stories about him.
Do you believe it?
Yeah, good amount.
I mean, you know, in my experience, like you take Snoop Dogg, right? I came up with Snoop, guys like that. There was never rumors out there that Snoop had killed several people. There was never rumors out there that Biggie had killed several people, okay? So I say that to say to you, when there's smoke, usually there's fire. So he's at least did something.
People just talk more now.
That too. These youngins, meaning y'all's generation.
They Snapchat their crime.
I mean, dude, it's fucking crazy, you know? It's like when we were young and we was in the streets, we did not broadcast the shit we did because we knew there's always somebody watching.
Yeah.
There was one, I can't remember, some young rapper from Florida. This motherfucker knew he was on probation. But better than that, he said a couple weeks before this, I think my parole officer's been watching my social media. What's dummy do? He'd post a vid with 2 guns on the table.
When are we gonna learn that guns do not go on the internet?
They don't go on the internet, and they show enough ain't for display when you got your PO following you, you know? But you know, I say this, Chicago, some of what y'all doing out there is a little wild, you know? I don't know if any of y'all seen this video. There was a couple, and they're riding with a baby, and basically they're riding, then you're and I think it's the dude driving, he takes off, and it shows them driving, they get home, and she's like, oh my God, the baby was killed. The baby's in the backseat, got hit by a stray, you know? Now, that ain't nothing that's just Chicago. That happens in LA, that happens in all those places. For real, Chicago, it just seems like they on some more savage shit, you know?
Every single part of Chicago, I got people up there. I got a friend, he said every single part is dangerous. It doesn't matter where you're from.
I believe it. Well, look, have you guys heard of the Gold Coast in Chicago? It's supposed to be like the rich section. Well, that's where Duck got murdered at. He was in like this fancy ass area out shopping, Of course he thought he was safe there.
Yeah.
And the hitters came out in broad daylight and smoked it. That's just a little taste of how fucked up I guess Chi-Town can be. But now, the boy that killed Vaughn, he wasn't from Chi-Town, was he?
Nah, he's from Baton Rouge.
Savannah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Georgia? That's
Savannah, Georgia. Yeah. What's his name? Little Tim. Little Tim, you know. And why are all you young dudes little? Somebody explain that to me, okay?
Because Wayne did it.
Wayne did it.
Well,
Yeah.
we had Little John.
Little John. Yeah, I can't put it on all y'all, but man, y'all got a lot of littles, you know. Hey, listen.
Lil Windex, man. Shout out Lil Windex. Doing the dude that does the Eminem impressions.
Yo, I like that dude. I like him. There's a song by Little Windex called Cleaning It Up. He gonna just spice the visuals to that. It's supposed to be a funny song. I shit you not. It's got bass. It actually goes. It
Dude
goes
does have
hard.
I just used that song on one of my reels for
Did you clean it up?
clean, so I used it.
You got a podcast or something, or
Nah, just a YouTube channel.
YouTube? What's the name of your channel?
I just got it by saying guy Grisby.
Hey, listen, we got to get the word out, you know. So in Africa, there's 2 remaining northern white rhinos in existence. One of them is guarded by an officer 24 hours a day.
Just one?
Just one. I don't know why not both, but
No, I'm like just one guy guarding this.
one guy. Yeah,
One guy.
one
You
guy.
gotta do it in Africa. They'll roll up. Man, you
Well, they will.
if they really want to do
I mean,
something.
now I think in Africa, poachers get dealt with very harshly.
Oh, I'm sure.
But think about how crazy that is. We got one northern white rhino left. And motherfuckers is so dumb that we actually got to put an armed guard on it so it don't get killed. They're trying to reestablish the population, you know. Now, I'm going to ask y'all, I'm sure nobody here agrees with poaching. But do any of y'all know why poaching is so big? I mean, it should be obvious in Africa why it's so big. Let me break it down real quick. Africa, you got people, the economy over there.
Well, they don't got nothing.
They got nothing.
They use that shit to make clothes. They could barter with it, I'm sure.
Well, it's not that. Listen, a rhino tusk
Oh yeah.
sells for like $20,000 to $40,000 American.
That's where them African princes are getting that money.
Well,
They email you about it. That's what's really been going on.
hey, listen, I don't know, but I know this. If you're a poor, starving family and you're like, yo, I can't get money no way else, but if I go out and catch a rhino and get its horn,
in the bank.
yeah.
Imagine, like,
Yeah.
the way you just put that, though, just sounds so ridiculous. You have to literally go capture a rhino.
Well, it's fucked up.
Leave it of its horn.
Yeah.
There's got to be something that's just a little bit easier to do.
Well, you would think, but then think about it. The rest of the population there, most of them are poor.
Where's Akon in all this?
Well,
Wasn't he
Akon-
supposed to be doing something over there?
Akon, I will say this. Akon built a village over there. He built a system to get them, I think clean water.
Got electric over there.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Well, we should be doing more, I think.
No, I agree.
I think there's a few people that could be putting their money in the mix there to help things out.
Well-
Especially with shit like this going on. We got 2 rhinos left, man.
I mean, you think about the stuff that's went extinct in the last 100 years. It's not far-fetched that we're going to lose some iconic creatures. I mean, even Bengal tiger, shit like that, are getting close.
Yeah.
And imagine 100 years from now, our great-great-great-grandkids may have never heard or seen a live tiger, But let me ask y'all, would any of you want to make the trip to Africa? It's a dream of mine. Grisby the guest, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, I'd go. I'm down to travel. I want to go a lot of places.
I think honestly, it's not as bad as people make it. I think there's bad pockets.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful country.
This has been.
When they say that about here,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
bad places here, but there's some places you can go where you're gonna have a good time, and be all right.
This is what fucks me up about America, what you just said, okay? If you go and you Google most gun deaths and murders per country, right? No shit, y'all. You're gonna see a bunch of third world countries than America.
Because everybody and their mama has a gun.
It's strapped up. But see, it's even deeper than that because, like, you got the UK. They talk about, oh man, well, UK got all the knife killings. We got more knife killings in the UK. So it's not just a weapons issue. It's a people issue. It's a culture issue.
We got mental illness running rampant now.
It is.
A lot of it being untreated.
The level of freedom we have is good and bad.
That's it, right. And, you know, I said this before. This is why I wanted my sons. And by the way, let us show you real quick. Me and my boys. Well, me, my boys, my wife, my daughter. We all got family tats. Boom.
Yeah, I got one too.
All the same thing.
Too tight. I got too big of arms.
You say it says E2 diesel, he can't pull it up, but it says FOE, family over everything, and it says win or die, you know. But that's why I'm so big on boxing and martial arts, because when you're skilled in fighting and somebody confronts you, your first idea isn't let me get a gun. You know, you're willing to solve it physically. And I'm gonna go deeper. You see a lot of modern cops shooting inmates, shooting suspects. And you say, you know, why wasn't it like that back in the 60s and 70s? Cops back then could fight a little. They were a little bit rougher.
Yeah.
These cops now are scared to death. And I just think it's that whole mindset of being cowardly and not being willing to fight that kind of throws the whole thing off. But I would go to Africa. I would love to go to Africa. When you think of Africa, I'm going to go around the room. When you think of Africa, what comes to your mind, honestly?
Honestly, like when I think of Africa, like safaris and shit. I'm not gonna lie, you know, the savannas.
Yeah.
Right, tiger or lions.
Yeah, animals.
Yeah. What about you, Grizz?
I say the same thing, like cheetahs.
Yeah.
Cheetahs.
You know what's crazy? I had a friend from Russia years ago, and it's always crazy to find out how other countries think about America. And he told me, he said, man, you know, I had known we were going to America for about 5 years. He said, and I pictured it being this futuristic place with everything mechanized and like he really thought America was like, because that's how they talk about us. Like we're just super advanced in everything.
I mean, we kind of are.
We are. But if we're advanced, go take a look at China and Japan.
Hey, shout out America, man.
You know,
They got some crazy bridges over there.
man, have you seen their train system that's like the bullet train?
Yeah.
See that thing, Elon Musk? He was working on something similar to that. He said he was.
Yeah.
They figured out their system. I seen this video. They had like a map or something, and they put this. It was like moss or something.
Right.
I forgot how it moved, but it basically just showed them how to like make their system.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying, yo. Like, I'm gonna pick my words carefully here, but the Asian culture, you know, is so forward thinking when it comes to technological stuff, when it comes to mechanics, etc. They be whooping our ass, because if you look at American-made vehicles, look, I love I got a Ram TRX, love it. My whole family got Scat Packs, my son got a Ford Raptor, so we all buy American. But I'll tell you this, you buy a fucking Honda Accord, that motherfucker gonna live till it's rusted out.
Hey, shout out to
Between
FJ.
American and Asian vehicles, those Asian vehicles, they make sure it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. They double check it, triple check it before it even goes out.
We don't got that type of quality control.
No, we just send it out one time. We test it one time and we send it out.
Man, listen, shout out to the Asian culture. We need to get some of that mind, at least some of it over here.
Hey, they need to. They better not do an electric FJ.
They better not do an electric TRX.
They're going to.
If they do, I'm fighting you.
We're talking 1,200 horsepower.
Electric Hellcats and all that.
1,200.
Are they out?
Yeah, there's an electric charger out now.
I saw one on 81.
What?
Yeah, they got them out.
Yeah, there's an electric charger. You didn't see
They're
it?
already released.
They're already
Yeah,
out.
there's chargers electric driving on the road now.
Driving out.
Look, what's corniest about it is that they gonna make fake engine noise.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing, man?
That's that King Madness.
For real.
Yeah. A Tennessee inmate escapes prison into a snowstorm. 1 hour later, he comes back and says it's too cold. Okay.
Bruh.
Man,
Bruh.
Where was that at? You said what?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Now,
Does it
look.
get cold over there?
It's,
really
I
cold
mean,
during the winter?
it's not as cold as Virginia.
It's not cold enough to want to get back into prison, right?
Well, look, I'm going to speak on that real quick.
didn't come through.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, I believe it is a snowstorm. Yeah.
He backtracked and said, hey, let me in, please.
Same path.
When I escaped from juvenile prison, Davis Center, I luckily escaped during the summer. I went through the woods. They was looking for me on four-wheelers, all that shit. And I'm going to tell you, it got nighttime. It started to cool off. I was all sweaty, started to get cold. Of course, you get hungry.
Yeah.
I had to lay out there in the woods for 6 hours and hide, till I could get to my ride. Then they put me in the trunk of the car and made me through they had fucking roadblocks and everything. But the point is, that was me with everything set up. I had a ride waiting and everything. This dude escapes on a whim and is out in a snowstorm.
I did not know it was snow. Well, I mean,
they got TV in prison.
they have small windows in the cell, right?
You can see if it's snowing. Why when it's snowing? So they can follow your tracks. Like, what is you doing?
He probably thought, hey, they're not going to chase me in a snowstorm or something.
Well, now that may be it.
He wrong. They going to get you.
But honestly, you guys think about it. If you try to escape from prison, I promise you there's a 90% chance you're getting caught right away. If you don't get caught right away, you're going to get caught within 6 months, and then they're going to slap you with 5-10 more years on your sentence, But let me ask y'all, if you was in prison, would you dare to escape?
How much time I got?
20 years.
20. How old am I with that 20-year sentence?
How old is you all right now?
I'm out of there, man. Fuck that.
As well.
Yeah,
I
you
ain't
roll it?
Yeah, come on, man. You talking about I'm gonna be 47?
You said fuck that up.
Fuck that.
Damn, you see what they think? Now I'm getting up there in the 40s. This motherfucking thing, I'm dead.
What are they gonna do? Take me to jail? If I escape, they're gonna take me to jail?
Hey,
Shit, man.
Grisby, you escaping?
I don't know if it's snowing. I'll probably just sit there.
Chill.
Yeah, you're right. If it's a
Play some dominoes.
I'm gonna plot till the summertime come around.
That's right. That's right.
Unless I'm Paul Boss.
But listen, have any of y'all watched it sounds like you watched 60 Days In.
Do you think that's real? Like a lot of it, you think?
I do.
I think you remember you slapped that inmate.
Yeah, what's his name?
Abner, the enforcer.
Abner's a bitch.
Yeah, he was the enforcer.
Why'd you smack that little kid, bro?
I'm not supposed to be intermingling races, is what he said. Something about coffee, and then he got slapped.
Look, this is what make it so bad. I seen that where he was talking about intermingling races, right? And here's the truth. For one, it was obvious in the jail they were in that the races were intermingled.
What was it? Is it? You'd say it's different in jail and then prison, right? Or you think it's a little bit different?
It is different in jail or in prison, but listen, it's a state-by-state thing as well, okay? Here's the example I'll give you. I was locked up in Dub V. It wasn't as bad. There was a lot of skinheads over there. I was locked up in PA. You had to stick with your race, okay? Me, being biracial, black and Hispanic, I got to kick it with blacks and Hispanics, But the white dudes stayed with the white dudes, black dudes with the black dudes, and that's how it was. And that's PA. But if you get to Texas,
That's where I was at.
California,
Yeah, it was.
especially Cali, you go outside your race, they'll kill you. They will kill you. Now, even in the jail, like you go to LA County Jail, one of them, it's not as bad, but look, if you got a prison sentence, right, and you're in jail and you're doing fuck shit, whatever you do in jail follows you up to prison. The dudes that knew you from jail, when you get up there, like, yo, he was doing this when he was in jail.
Yeah.
He was doing that. So as soon as you start your sentence, whether you're in jail or in prison, you gotta go by the rules.
Do you think that's like an old head thing?
I don't. I think it's still going on because, look, well, I'm going to give you an old head story, but I do think it's still going on. But, when I originally went to prison, there was a young man named Tyler. I did a story about him. Well, he was in jail with me, white kid. He always kind of soft. Then he got on the weights, and he started getting diesel, so he thought he could fight, but he couldn't fight. And he kept asking me before we went up there, yo, what do I do? I said, look, you got to stick with the white boys. I said, that don't mean we can't speak, but you got to stick with the white boys. It's going to get tough up there. You know, respecting him, he didn't want to be racist. He didn't want to be like that. He ended up, the Aryans hated him for it. And he ended up getting fucked up by an Aryan because of it. Well, I've seen white guys, even in that prison, that was cool with the brothers, that hung out, and it was all good. So just really depends on who you are, because there's certain people that go into lockup that are just so real. And by real, I don't mean I'm a gangster, almost dead. No, you just can tell they're a real motherfucker. You know, they get kind of a pass. So, nobody here's done, I think most of y'all, at most, you did juvenile stuff. You've been locked up just for DUI.
It was a day.
And
good noodle.
Good noodle.
Good old.
You ever been locked up?
Yeah, a couple times.
Long term or short term?
Nah, it's a couple weeks.
My
I
man.
don't even know who I'd roll with. I mean, I've been called white, black, and Hispanic.
I'm gonna tell you, with your hair texture, you would have to roll, but most likely with brothers, because as soon as anybody finds out that you do have black in you, it's gonna be a wrap.
It's a wrap.
That's just the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a lot of mixed people who were very light that rolled kind of with black people or Hispanics, but it's a shame, because in this day and age, you wouldn't think race would be that big of an issue. I don't know if y'all seen, they got a picture of what Americans will look like in 50 years.
Right.
And they're all my complexion. No shit. It's now they got green eyes, but it's a computer generated picture of what all, because everybody's, mixed.
Yeah.
I think I talked about this on the last show. When I was in school, there was black kids, white kids, Hispanic kids. You didn't see a lot of mixed kids. I was one of the few. Now, when I went to Elijah's school, it was all shades of children, different. I didn't know what race they were.
2,500 people.
Yeah.
All types.
Yeah. So, and I think that's a good thing, man, because I think the way to kill racism is, man, everybody a little bit of everything, This should be on sports, but I'm gonna go on a rant about conspiracy theories. So, this whole shit about, first of all, they came out with the logos, and they said, look, this year's logo is the colors of San Fran and Baltimore.
I mean, it looks like it, but they're the number one seed.
They're the number one seed.
So they obviously got the highest chance to make the Super Bowl.
Right.
They got the past 2 seasons, and it was also the same color, so I understand where they get the speculation.
I can dig
That's
it.
the past 2 of like what?
Well,
50.
can I say something? The past 2, the Bengals in LA were high seeds. Now that one is less explainable. But last year with KC and the Eagles, they were both the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So it's pretty obvious that they may go. I say this. Then there was this thing that came out where this news station up in Canada. I want to straighten this out, because I've had about 50 people tag me
Hey,
today.
shout out Canada though. They have they have a lot of shit going on.
Canada, what up?
I fuck with Canada.
Look, this news station in Canada comes out, and they said they were talking about the Super Bowl, and they were like, for the Ravens, 49ers Super Bowl. Well, first of all, they're Canadian. They don't know American football. Let's start there, okay? But aside from that, once again, they asked them why they did it. They said, well, they're the 2 number 1 seeds. They're the 2 that everybody's talking about. So that's what we said. But why are people so quick to run with a conspiracy theory?
They saw that, literally screenshot it and just shared it.
Yeah.
Not even doing any type of digging.
Look, I'm gonna shoot the conspiracy down real quick, and then I'm gonna get y'all's take. So if the NFL wanted to plan who was going to be the teams in the Super Bowl, they're going to go with big market teams every time. All right, that's what a lot of people don't understand. So what's a big market team? New York, LA, Chicago, Detroit, maybe Cleveland, but big markets from big areas. That's who the NFL wants, because that's what sells tickets and all of that other shit. So they're not going to want, Baltimore is really a small market team. Okay, San Francisco, I don't even think would be considered a big market team. So it's like, if you're going to come up with a conspiracy, at least make it make sense.
It would bring Detroit because of how long you know,
You
you haven't
think?
won a championship.
Right.
Well,
That's a
Bring
good
in
point.
the views.
I agree. I think Detroit has a chance this year. Grisby, you watch football?
Here and there, not that much.
Who you like? Oh, not a lot.
Yeah.
Who you think going this year? You got any guess? Nah. Hey,
I'd like to see Baltimore.
love the NFL.
I think I'd like to see that game.
49ers, they were slacking against the Packers. That's all.
I think they were going to lose that game.
Hey, if that rookie kicker wouldn't have missed that kick, it'd have been OT and it'd have been wraps.
Lamar's coming though.
Simple.
I know that
gonna
boy.
say, yeah,
Lamar is coming.
That boy Lamar.
For real. Look, you got to understand this real quick. Had like 10 people injured on defense. They had a bunch of second and third stringers in, and KC still barely won. What are they going to do with the big bad Ravens? Okay, we got all our defense. We fully loaded and ready. You know,
Chiefs got Patrick Mahomes.
he's going to have
Yeah,
nightmares.
y'all need to get rid of Taylor Swift, man.
You know, if they win the Super, we'll never hear the end
We'll
of it.
never
Yeah.
stop hearing that shit.
That
They
would
all
make
say
sense
it's
to
because
put on the script.
Oh,
That would make sense to put on the script because everybody loved Taylor
Did y'all
Swift.
watch the
obviously.
game every time they scored?
Even if it
It
wasn't
was Taylor
Travis
Swift.
Kelce, Taylor
Yeah.
Swift going on that screen.
Oh, and they flash her. I hate that.
they gonna say they won because of her,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna get heated.
Marlon Wayans speaks out after Katt Williams criticizes him for wearing dresses and white chicks.
Did he criticize him though, or did he more or less just point out the fact that that's what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's not
I don't
critical to
remember.
just say this happened.
I'm asking because I really don't remember exactly what he said about him.
Well, you put me on the spot because I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would say this. Let me be careful here. I don't like the trend of, seems like so many actors feel like they got to do at least one movie where they're in a dress.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, look, honestly, I'm asking this honestly, and if anybody disagrees, please speak up. Do you guys just fall over laughing and find it hilarious when a comedian wears a dress?
I mean, not really. No.
Played with
I heard it's a conspiracy theory type thing.
But yeah.
Yeah, well,
He was talking about it, right?
It's like a black man's curse. They put him in the dress and
well,
their
look,
popularity or something.
yeah, listen, there's an old conspiracy theory called buck breaking, where with you know black men who are successful, they try to make them do these feminized roles or shit like that to emasculate them. And for me, you look at Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, it wasn't about a dress, it was about some other shit, but he was like, I'm not doing it. And he actually had just gotten a $50 million deal from Comedy Central. He said, nope, I'm out. Packed up and went to Africa and said, fuck y'all.
They said he was smoking
Down
crack or
50
something.
M's.
Yeah, and they tried to make him into a crazy person, but for real, he stood on business,
Yeah.
you know?
Tupac never wore a dress.
He damn sure didn't.
You think they ever came and asked him to?
They knew better. He'd have fucked them up for real. But, you know, for me, again, I'm not hating on it. I'm sure there's some people that find it funny. If I found it funny, I would say so.
Yeah.
You know, it's not entertaining to me.
I mean, when you do it one time, it's cool and it's funny.
Yeah, like
Right.
Big Mama's
How many
house the
times?
first time was alright.
Talking about Tyler Perry.
Right. Yeah, and Tyler Perry, you know,
That motherfucker love wearing dresses.
he love it. He love it. And I mean, look, I'll say this. I love what Tyler Perry has done, like for the minority community. I love that. He gives a lot of jobs, you know, a lot of consistency. And, you know, but damn, he seemed to really enjoy his role as Medea. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't really find those all that funny.
I didn't either. I will say this will fuck some people up. Now, I had some aunts that truly acted like Medea. I kid you not.
Yeah.
That acted like Medea.
Big
you know?
Medea energy.
So, I mean, it wasn't, but it was over the top. Don't get me wrong. They weren't that bad. But
Yeah.
I'll just say this. If I had to pick one guy in a dress movie, it would be the Big Mama's house.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. But how many of y'all remember on the movie Life, the dude Biscuit?
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
We met him when we went out to LA. We got pictures with him and everything.
For real?
Yeah,
That's that one. That's that like the smaller dude, right?
He's skinny.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, he announced my fight.
Damn.
Yeah, but you know,
Not to him, man.
to each their own. To each their own. We not saying it's not.
That movie is still goated.
Oh, like
This day.
I watch that motherfucker every time it comes on. I'm telling you.
Shit.
Wasn't the dude that played Biscuit, Juana Man?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, that's what's so weird. Like, he played several roles that were kind of feminized, but when I met him, he didn't seem that way. Like, we sat and talked to him. He chain smokes, I know that. He was smoking cigarettes back to back to back.
Shit.
But he was just like any other dude, you know? So I don't know. Maybe he just feels that's the kind of roles he can do, you know? My song that I love is Fabulous, Can't Deny It. Now look, had Nate Dogg in it. First of all, any track that had Nate Dogg in it,
I don't remember being in that.
he had the other Nate Dogg in it, you know.
That's wild.
Listen, y'all too young to remember, but when Nate Dogg was put on a track and sung, he always marked it. He always made it a hit. But Fabulous, if you listen to the bars he spits on that track, and this was a commercial track. This was a track that was playing on the radio, playing here and there, but man, the uncensored version, like, you know how a real good bar will make you go, ooh.
Yeah, no, you ain't lying.
That's how it was, you know. Fabulous is one of the most underrated that's out there, period, okay? And I'm gonna stay on the love train today. I got a movie that I love called Last of the Mohicans. I noticed nobody in here spoke up, so none of these young men, y'all missing out.
I've heard the name. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Y'all gotta watch it, okay? And if you out there and you have not seen Last of the Mohicans, you have to watch it, all right? One of the most gangster flicks. There's a scene in the end, like there's this father, a Native American, and his two sons, and they're all great warriors. The one son does battle with this other native with axes and swords and gets killed. Then the pops had to take him out. I'm telling y'all gotta watch the movie. It's one of the greats. Now, it's like 3 hours long, but it's a good 3 hours.
Damn, you don't see 3 hour long movies now.
No, and
They're
when
all
you
like
do,
98 minutes or
they
something.
trash when you do see them, you know. What you got for us, son?
A song I like is by Juice WRLD and Eminem.
What is it?
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Godzilla. Hey, look, they had Mike Tyson in the vid. He knocked him out in the vid. He's like, ah, shit, you know, and I just everything on that song, man.
Who got knocked out?
Eminem got knocked out in the.
Oh, damn.
Got a real bad black eye. Yeah, they're a good duo together on the tracks.
Juice WRLD and Eminem?
Yeah. I think that was one of the only ones they got to do together. They did one more called Lace It that came out after he died, but.
Was you a big Juice WRLD fan?
Yeah.
Everybody here like Juice WRLD?
Gotta watch his freestyle.
Juice, he did that. It was like an
Freestyle
hour.
for like an hour.
Over Eminem beats, he freestyled for an hour. Shit was cold.
And some rat murdered him.
Well, I think he
No,
died.
he-
He just died. Yeah, he just
Oh,
died.
he's the one that
I'll
OD'd.
tell you who the rat is. He
Yeah.
overdosed because he was on a private jet and his pilot snitched on him.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
Dirty.
He
That's
had a bunch of, it was weed, it was drugs, it was stuff, so he just popped a bunch of whatever pill he had.
So who was the rapper that was from New York, was out in LA, and he got robbed and murdered? Was that Pop Smoke?
You might be
I
talking
think
about
he threw a party and he
Yeah, it was Pop
that
Smoke.
dress on
Yeah,
his story.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a shame, man.
Yeah.
Well, what you got for a movie?
The most badass movie of all time when it comes to like combat, right?
Right?
300.
Oh, come on.
Most badass, man. Come on, man. I remember I was at your house when I was just a kid.
Yeah.
Little kid. We sat and we watched it. That was the first time I remember ever seeing it. It's like, man, these dudes are badass. And I think they came out with another one, right? Or did they? They
Yeah,
never did.
they did.
Was it
Yep.
called like 3000 or something like that?
It was, I think so, but it was good too.
Yeah,
it
it was
wasn't
just-
as good as the original, but it was
It
good.
never is. But that's
300.
one of the best movies of all time.
If you can't get your adrenaline pumping watching 300, you ain't got a pulse.
Yeah.
Real talk. What you got, son?
Song that I like, another dude who died from an overdose, Big Scar, Offset, Fantasy.
Oh, Big Scar. So Big Scar did die.
Yeah.
I thought he got shot.
That's terrible.
He
It's
died.
OD.
Oh,
What it was, he OD'd as well.
where was Big Scar from?
Wasn't he from Texas? or some shit.
It was
Memphis, right?
It was from Memphis. Yeah.
Big Scar. Yeah, I think
He's out there
yeah.
with Duke Deuce and
What do you like about the track?
Oh, I mean, it's just a head bopper.
Head
Yeah.
bopper.
It gets me right before the fight or something.
I gotta check that out. I don't
It'll
think
be
I've heard it.
dangerous. I bump that song.
Yeah,
how'd you-
Big Scar did in fact overdose. I just Googled it. I'll say this real quick before we let you get to the other one. You rappers, man, celebrities, when you get into these opiates or any of these drugs, you playing with fire. I'm telling you, it don't take nothing to take more than you thought in OD. And you look at a guy like Pop Smoke, the young people, I ain't gonna lie, I think I've heard maybe one or two Pop Smoke songs, but the way y'all young people talk about him, I know he was getting ready to be something special.
Yeah.
And now we won't see that because he overdid it,
Facts.
Y'all be careful, man. What's your movie?
I'll do a movie series that I hate. How
Uh-oh.
about that? I love my Marvel movies, but any Marvel movie after Endgame,
Okay.
Trash.
All right.
I
Yeah.
hate it. It
Fine.
was trash.
Yeah,
It was trash. I wouldn't watch it.
Well, they started making all these Spider-Mans and shit.
Yeah,
You know,
they just overdid it.
that
at
newest
this
Spider-Man is weird though.
What's Endgame?
Endgame,
Yeah,
it
Dan
was
was-
the 3-hour.
Yeah.
Y'all were just talking about them 3-hour long movies. That was a 3-hour long Marvel movie.
Thanos got the stones and shit.
Right.
So after that, all of them been trash.
Well,
Remember
because
when
they
Esteban
killed Iron
posted
Man,
that about
right?
the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yep,
With
yep,
you?
yep.
That's what that's referring to.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's that movie. You gotta check that out. It's the
Civil
best
War
one.
and Endgame
It was
were
one of the biggest
it was
movies of all
movies.
time too.
Marvel, you got to tighten your game up, dog.
Stop making all these Spider-Man movies. That's my favorite superhero. Stop playing with it, man.
Tighten up. Grizz, if we put you on the spot, you got a movie you love or a song you love and hate.
yeah, I'm gonna go back to my childhood, and it's a song I shouldn't have been listening to when I was a kid, but White Lines, Grandmaster Flash.
My man. Now see, y'all don't know about that.
I knew Grandmaster.
Y'all
I ain't
don't
know
know
that
about
track.
that.
I ain't gonna lie.
Everybody know what that song was about. It should be obvious.
Yeah, well,
White Lines.
sounds like cocaine.
Yeah, and it wasn't actually glorifying the drug. It was saying, yo, this ain't good, make you lose your mind, so on and so forth. Man, you took it real old school. You people listened to it when they were young?
No, I was on a Thrasher video game, PlayStation 1.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was on the soundtrack to a video game.
It's crazy. A lot of youngins will bring up an old school song, and that's where they heard it like through some video game, but I don't care. At least it's exposing y'all to the good music.
Yeah.
What about a movie?
Movie I like. It's a foreign movie called the Raid 2 Redemption.
Raid 2 Redemption.
I don't know if I've ever
What's
seen
it
it.
about? Just briefly.
Undercover cops, and they're trying to infiltrate this gang and stuff. And then, yeah, it's just a bunch of fighting. And,
Is it like an English movie or?
they're like Thai or something.
Oh, because I remember the Raid, the original movie,
The
Raid. Yeah, okay. A lot of times we miss out on those foreign movies. There's actually some good stuff out there. Elijah, what you got, son?
My song is by Gunna, South to West.
Gunna, South to West.
Probably my
South to West.
favorite Gunna song right now.
I think he blew up after he got out. Like, I think after
He was already blown up, but it definitely gave him more
I feel like he's better than Lil Baby.
yeah. You see that song Bread and Butter where he just calling people out and shit, basically. You see that shit?
Yeah, I
He's
saw
going
that.
in on people, man.
So now let's talk about rumor real quick. Do y'all believe that Gunna's a snitch? Outright.
He said in that song that he was tricked. That's what he's saying. He said that they pulled some sneaky shit and then he fell for it. I don't know.
I understand how that can
I
happen.
believe that.
I'm not. Yeah.
Look, let me say
Probably
this.
would know better than anybody,
know,
right? So
Well, here's what I'm gonna tell you, and this is 100% fact. Thug is not taking a plea because they're trying to light his ass up. They
Yeah.
probably only offered him 25 years, okay? So he's not gonna take a plea. He's gonna go to trial. When you go to trial, then you find out for sure who snitched and who didn't. Because at that point, it's in the Constitution that you have a right to face your accuser. If Gunna did snitch, we will know when Thug's trial continues, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this, there's been a few people, namely Thug's dad, that's defending Gunna. and saying, no, he didn't snitch. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. So, I don't know.
That actually speaks volumes, I think, because they got to be communicating one way or another.
And people are like, yo, why don't Thug come out and say it? Thug can't say shit. He's got a conspiracy case right now.
Yeah.
If he even affirms that that's his boys, it can fuck him. So basically, I think he told his dad, hey, come out and say that Gunna's good, blah, 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 and people still ain't listening to it. But
I feel like they shouldn't say anything until it's proved 100%.
Right.
That's right.
Calling anybody a snitch.
That's how people are, though. Look, I got a friend. I'm not gonna say his name on camera, but he's a good friend of mine. He trains here. This motherfucker got hit with 50 pounds of weed back in the day. Long story short, he didn't tell. Okay, everybody knew he didn't tell, but there was 3 people that said, oh, he got out of jail early. How'd he get out so early? We got out of jail because he got first offender status, and they worked with him on his sentence. They didn't have no choice because they didn't have a lot of evidence. Well, the rumor spread for a minute that he had snitched, and then finally, clear-cut paperwork came out and showed, no, he didn't. But now if he'd have been in a more fucked up area, could have cost him his life.
Yeah.
Give me your movie before we roll on.
I got a movie I love and hate. It's Creed 3.
Creed 3.
They got the perfect characters. They got Bud Crawford. They got Canelo.
Right.
In a little side scene. But how the fuck do you have somebody that's 50 pounds heavier fighting the champion?
Right.
He's only got 2 fights. This is his second fight. He's fighting the champion.
That don't add up, does it? That don't. Well, sometimes, look, I'll say this. The Creed movies branched off of the Rocky movies. And guys, the Rocky movies were great, but sometimes the plot was, if you go back and look at Rocky IV when he travels to Russia to fight Drago after Drago murdered his friend in the ring, if you'd have seen the way Drago beat Apollo Creed to death, he would have been suspended from boxing. He may have been even charged with a crime. So he definitely wouldn't have been fighting again in 3 months.
That's Michael B. Jordan in that movie, right?
In the Creed. Yeah. Creed, yep. Well, good picks today, guys. Y'all know what it is. Listen, let me just say this, okay? Let me speak on this. Our Ravens, are going to the AFC Championship game versus the Chiefs, okay? Now, a lot of people harped on Lamar and his playoff resume and how he chokes in the playoffs and blah, blah, blah.
He just scored 4 touchdowns.
The man set several records that have never been set before. First person ever to have a 100 game, which means 100 yards rushing, 100 yards passing, 100 QBR. That's one. First person ever to have 2 rushing TDs and 2 passing TDs in a game. He lit them up, and that was a top 10 defense, right? Now
we got the Chiefs.
They got to come to M&T Bank.
One defensive player from the Chiefs.
I can't.
There's no way they beat the Ravens.
Y'all gotta drop
him.
No.
60.
Why you don't want him to win?
I'm about tired of Taylor Swift. Y'all already know what I'm about to say, man. Come on.
Hey.
Never hear
Get
again.
rid of them. Hey, if the script was actually real, then Taylor Swift going all the way.
Right. If the script was real, she would run the touchdown that wins the game.
She'd be QB.
I'm tired of seeing, every time something happens, they cut to her.
And it won't even be her man scoring.
I know.
Swag surfing in the crowd. You see that shit?
I know. And look,
what the hell is going
I'm
on?
gonna say this to you though. For real, the Chiefs, they played fucking the Bills. The Bills had second and third stringers in on defense. They had so many injuries on defense, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Chiefs still struggle. What are they going to do against our defense? We got no injuries.
Not going to be able to
Second.
pass. You see
No.
our secondary?
Yeah, it's getting ready to be other level. I'm telling you, Lamar can smell that Super Bowl win. He can smell it. He's had people dog him his whole career, and now he's getting ready to have it. But I'm going to take one final poll before we get off of sports. Who you got in the Super Bowl?
I got Baltimore and Detroit.
I want it to be Baltimore and Detroit, but I feel like the 49ers are going to come out.
Baltimore 49ers, what do you think?
I don't know who's really between besides Baltimore and the 49ers.
It's Baltimore 49ers.
I was going to say the rematch with Baltimore 49ers. No.
Hey, look, we gonna get that other ring. We just letting y'all know.
There was a plane crash, right, that occurred in 1977.
Right.
He was carrying a basketball team, and they crashed upon takeoff. I guess it lost control, crashed, killed everybody on board. Right. There was one player that survived the crash because he I guess he had an ankle injury.
Right.
He was out the whole season, wasn't on the plane. 2 weeks later, him and his brother died in a car wreck.
Stop it.
So he lived because he wasn't on the plane, and then 2 weeks later died
Is this
anyway.
a college team?
Yeah. It was let's see.
Oh
They
yeah,
said
I heard about this.
University of Evan, the Purple Aces.
Yeah, I heard about
Yeah.
this.
Some Final Destination type shit.
Yep. 2 weeks after that plane crash.
That's weird.
I mean, yo, do y'all believe in destiny like that? Do you believe like the world had his ticket and they pulled it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, how else do you explain it?
Why take his brother with him? No, that's fucked.
Yeah. Well, how many of y'all are familiar with the movie Alive? It was about a soccer team that crashed in the Andes.
Oh yeah, they had to like do some
Cannibalism.
Yeah, some crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the Andes Mountains are very uninhabitable. Okay, they're cold, they're rugged, there's not a lot to do or eat. And they were up there and they did what they had to do. But people think cannibalism is these rare occurrences. It's happened many times. How many of y'all know the story of Moby Dick? So originally, that story wasn't about a white fucking whale. That wasn't what it was all about. It was about the fact that crew, when their boat got disabled and they were drifting, resorted to cannibalism. There was another one where this was down in Australia, and the details are murky to me, but I feel like it was some penal colony down there for inmates. Same shit. They got like stranded or marooned and started eating people, Now, I'll guarantee you, and look, I don't approve of cannibalism. Let me just be clear, okay? But if you gotta live, that's one thing. But I gotta ask y'all on camera, you're stranded, you're starving, there's dead bodies beside you, and that's all there is to eat. Do you eat them?
If I don't know them, maybe.
Nah, look, man, I'll be honest, right? I'm gonna have to cook something up.
You might have to cook something
I'm gonna have to cook up a thigh or something.
Hey,
Something
man,
gotta give.
you using seasoning?
It's already got season.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to.
Mash up that lemon.
I had a bottle of ketchup. We good to go.
Something gotta give, huh?
Yeah,
It can't
that
taste
is
like
fucked
human.
up, though.
That's all I know.
You ever seen The Green Inferno?
Chicken.
The movie The Green Inferno? It's about these people. It's pretty much that. They crash on an island
Yeah.
full of cannibals, and they capture them. And the funny part was they started like smoking. They got them all with the munchies, right? And then they started eating these people and shit.
I want to say something about another movie before I go. There's one called, I believe it's called Cannibal Apocalypse or something like that. It's an old 70s movie.
Of course it is.
It was so bad. Y'all look this up. It's like Cannibal Apocalypse or Cannibal something. Nate'll find it. But it was so bad that it was banned in America. It was banned in several different countries. Come to find out, they actually had killed real animals for some of the scenes. Like, there's a scene where an animal's being killed. Well, it's real.
Holy
They're
fuck.
really killing the animal. Then rumors came out that some of the cannibal scenes was real, which I doubt it, but people really believe that shit. So I think it's Cannibal Apocalypse, but I'm probably wrong. But Nate will find that. Hey, listen, it was awesome having Grisby on today. You got any social media you want to shout out, or just your YouTube channel?
I got YouTube, the same guy Grisby, my Instagram, my TikTok, it's all the same basically. I use the same name for everything.
It's called what again?
Same guy Grisby.
Well, brother, we look forward to having you back soon. You're always welcome to train, and of course, go check out his fights on YouTube, Grisby. That man always brings the heat. We'll see y'all next time. Swing at the cold, and if the world punches you in the mouth, swing back at it. Peace.